Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can see me. Welcome to the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to see you. It's good to see the price of Bitcoin moving up. Yeah, so we'll get into it. I got shaken out of position. I took a leveraged short a leveraged long the other day. I did get shaken out of that. Unfortunate, but hey, you know, we're still long and strong in the spot markets, and we're liking what we're seeing in the charts. We got a nice little breakout above a resistance point, so we're going to dive into that. We're going to take a look at how is the rotation in altcoins progressing, and yeah, let's without any further ado, let's just dive into it. Let's take a look here. All right, so we're starting things off here on the daily chart. So beautiful little move up here in Bitcoin. Nice little $4,000 move in Bitcoin, $4,000 from the open to the close here on this candle, and came up right against the monthly resistance. This red line is the 30 exponential moving average. That represents the exponential moving average price of the month when you're on the daily chart. So we have the 7, which is your weekly average. We have the 30, which is your monthly average. So the monthly average is currently serving as resistance as it stands right now, getting a little bit of a reaction to the downside. If you were wanting to go long on this, I would be placing bids down at the weekly average price, currently sitting at $84,382 on the index chart. That's where I'd be looking to go long. Let's take a look at the weekly close. This never renders right on the index chart, so let me just go over to the Bybit perpetuals. Nice little rotation candle here. You've got this kind of three candle reversal taking shape. We're still about 4 days out from closing this weekly's candle. So if this candle is closing at a higher price than this candle's high was 85,266. If we close out the week above 85,266, that's going to be kind of your three candle reversal pattern. And those are great setups. Those are really great setups, especially when they're on the high time frame like the weekly. That means, in my opinion, that we're absolutely going to go and retest and probably try to get above the bearish weekly candle. So that's open was at 94,236 here on the BitGet perpetuals chart. So yeah, we'd be looking at a nice little candle that would be from this point that we're currently sitting at right now. That would be a nice 10% move up on that week. So pay attention to the weekly close. If we get a weekly close above the high of the prior candle, the high was, as a reminder, 85,266. If we close this weekly candle above 85,266, we will likely go to 94 in the week coming after that. Let's just quickly do a health check on the stream. Still dealing with crappy Bangkok Wi-Fi. Heading to Dubai very shortly, so we will have better internet over in Dubai. But give us a like, let us know that we're streaming to the right places, let us know that we're looking good. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Twitch. We are live on Rumble. New edition. Shout out to the free speech advocates out there. We are live streaming on Rumble. And we are live on Twitter. We are getting a larger following on Twitter. If you guys aren't already following us, do us a favor, hit the follow button and come hang out in the Discord as well. If you guys were wondering, I'm just going to let you know there's two ways to get into the Discord. There's an easy way and there's a hard way. In an effort to keep scammers out of the Discord, what we have chosen to do, because it's a free product, what we've chosen to do is put kind of a paywall, a verification wall. We've put a verification wall in place. So I'll kind of show you what that looks like. Let me just go over to roles. Sorry, this is a bit of a tangent. We'll get right back into the TA in just 1 minute. We'll do an unverified role, view server as role. You'll see something like this. okay, where you'll see an enter here channel. This means that you need to open up a channel directly with the team and share your UID or your black box information. This is the hard way into the server. If you want the easy way into the server, create a black box account. When you create a black box account and you register with an email and a password and all of the registration info that we're asking for, once you're in the dashboard, all you have to do is click this button. So if you haven't already gotten into the verified section of our server, the easy way is to create the black box account first. Once you create the black box account, you can easily join the server where we are trading sharing our trade setups, our altcoin investments, free access to the Bitcoin trading bots, soon to come copy trading portal. So all of those offerings and everything that we offer at Blackbox is going to be available for you for free in that Discord. So we hope to see you in there. Let's get back into the TA. Enough of the shameless shill. So let's pull up the index chart again, and let's go down to some smaller time frames. And what we're looking at is there's a lot of confluence up here. There's a lot of confluence up here around that $94,000 to $96,000 level. And I anticipate that over the coming week, over the coming next 2 weeks, actually, we will be at or above this level. We will come to test this level either happening this week or at some point during next week's candle. So within the next, say, 4 to 10 days, I believe that we will be up at this level, at least testing the liquidity, testing the supply side of how bearish the market is and seeing how much selling happens at this level. So I think we're going to have a nice little cruise up here. The market is still incredibly bearish. There's still a lot of people who are, thinking that the market cycle's over. And even when I look at the bulls are super conservative, which is in effect a sign of bearishness, in my opinion. The bearish people in the market are calling that the market cycle's over and we're actually in a bear market. And the bullish people are calling that, we're at least going to go to 140 or 150 or $200,000. I think that those are bearish targets. I think that this cycle is going to tap out at least at $500,000 a coin. And that sentiment will change. There's nothing like a change in price to trigger a change in sentiment. Once we go back up to these levels, and better yet, if we come up and test the all-time highs, you better believe that all of the people are going to be bullish, and those bullish people who are calling for 140, 150, they're going to be calling for 200, 250, 400, 500, all of that. So I don't think this is quite over just yet. So hang in there. It's been a bumpy ride. Even for the veterans out there, it's been an interesting cycle. I've had a lot of, there's a lot of similarities with some of the conversations that I'm having with some of the OGs that have been in this space since like 2011. This has been an interesting cycle. It holds a lot of parallels to 2017. And if you weren't around in 2017 was an incredible cycle. It was an absolutely incredible cycle. However, it was also a very volatile and hard to hold on to cycle. There was a lot of FUD, there was a lot of pullbacks, there was a lot of volatility inside that cycle. So yes, in hindsight, looking in the rearview mirror, it was one of the best cycles that Bitcoin ever had. But it wasn't an easy ride. And we're kind of seeing stuff similar to that this time. And I think that has to do with the fact that, in my opinion, we are kind of topping in the market as a whole. We're topping in equities. We're topping in real estate. We're topping in commodities. We're topping in crypto. So a lot of bumpiness comes along with something like that. And with all of the uncertainty around, the current U.S. administration and how that lands with tariffs and geopolitical uncertainty, basically, the market hates uncertainty. It's causing a lot of volatility out there, which is, shaking us up a bit. But current targets here let's actually move this over a little bit. We got some space to run here. Let's move that over there. Let's move our channel over there. So we've come up and touch kind of the underside of this parallel channel. Got a little bit of resistance. I'm thinking we come down and give some sort of a test on the 7, like we already mentioned, and then we carry on. Next kind of main resistance is going to be in around 91. 91 will probably see a little bit of a pullback as well. And then from there, I think we'll go ahead and test that 94. But getting above the 200 here on the 4-hour would be a really good signal. I think we are currently below the 200. That is this wave right here. But we are above the 7, we are above the 30, and we are above the 50. So as far as the 4-hour is concerned, we're above all of the moving averages, and those moving averages are in bullish alignment. So things are turning. They haven't quite turned on the daily. When we take a look at the daily, just as a reminder, we are above the 7, but we touched the 30 and got rejected. And we're several weeks away from these flipping from currently at bearish alignment into bullish alignment. So the daily is certainly lagging, but the picture is looking really clean and really nice here on the 4-hour. We're above all the moving averages and we are in bullish alignment. Let's go ahead and catch up with the chat here. How do you plan on getting out in the vicinity of the top this cycle if red wave flip isn't enough to do it? Well, okay, so the most recent red wave flip, I did try to listen to, but I didn't get out properly. But the thing is, it's not, I've said it multiple times on this channel. I use sentiment as a very, very important element in my trading. And when this red wave flipped, we had mixed sentiment. We did not have euphoria. We did not have people making like stupid $1 million moves. Like if you remember last cycle, Beeple sold a JPEG of all of his JPEGs for $64 million. Like we didn't see any ridiculousness in the market. So although I had planned on taking a position, limiting my position, ultimately we didn't see a mania. Once we're above 150, once we're above 200, once we're above 250 and start, reaching that $500,000 level, you're going to see a mania. You're going to see irrationality in the markets. You're going to see nation state FOMO. You're going to see stock market FOMO. You're going to see stocks adopting a Bitcoin standard because they know that their share value will double or triple just by making the announcement that they're going to be holding, 5% Bitcoin. When that mania comes in and you couple that with the definitive technical indicator of the red wave flip, we're done. We're out. Even if it doesn't mean we go into a bear market, I'm quite certain that when you pair a really high time frame negative sentiment indicator with the euphoria of the markets, that's going to be when we're done. So we haven't quite hit that yet. Once we see that, it's lights out. It's lights out. Nothing changes. Okay. And don't fall for it because, every cycle when you're at the top, people start to believe the narrative, this time is different. This time is different. This time is not different. Bitcoin is still the same thing it's always been. And when people overvalue it, when people overvalue it, there is a correction. The people who are dedicated to this ecosystem, the people who have been trading it for a long time, the people who are buying at 18K like us, they're going to be selling. And they represent a large share of the supply. And I don't care how many people are buying. I don't care how many nations are buying. I don't care how many stocks are moving their balance sheet over to Bitcoin. The price will fall. So, it's not just technicals is kind of the long and short of what I'm trying to say here. Technical analysis is important for decision making, but you as an operator need to be mostly paying attention to what the herd is thinking. It is super underrated. You need to look at what the herd is thinking. When the herd is depressed, you should be looking for long opportunity. You should be looking for signals in your strategy to get bullish exposure. When everybody's making money and everybody's telling everybody else that it's time to get into crypto and this is a sure thing, you need to be paying attention to your technical indicators that are telling you to exit. So, now, plan on getting out in the vicinity of the top. There's not a single technical indicator on Earth that will nail the top. Technical indicators, by definition, are either trend-based or oscillating indicators. So an oscillator is always going to come up just short or just too low, and a momentum-based indicator is always going to have that delay of the change of price to signal an action. So you're never going to nail the top unless you just have a price in mind that you plan on taking. Channel, wish the best for your channel. Wish the best for you, man. Keep on hodling. Yep, always got to hodl. Let's look at Banker. We will in a moment. We'll get into the shit coins. Let's move things over in the direction of shitcoins with the most important chart in the shitcoin space. That's Bitcoin dominance. So let's shift gears here a little bit. Bitcoin dominance still in an uptrend, still has not broken that downtrend. Let's go ahead and draw the mean here, kind of give us at least a little bit of an area to watch. Yeah, something like this. So we need to get at least below the mean before we get too excited. We're still in an uptrend. We're still creating higher highs on high time frame candles. So the rotation into alts has not taken place. So just, remember that for the rest of the context of what we're about to go through. We can take a look at how things are progressing, but nothing has actually shifted yet. We can take a look at the progress, but nothing has officially shifted. And we'll go ahead and take a look at Cardano. So let's take a look at Cardano here. This is Cardano USD. We're saying we would likely kind of hold this level here of this parallel channel. Let's turn all that off so it's easier to see. This parallel channel, this accumulation channel. We're now on our backup phase for Cardano. And this will likely continue for at least a few more weeks, if not potentially a month or two. Altcoin season is very short. It's about 3 to 6 months long. And so we have more than 3 to 6 months of bull market ahead of us, in my opinion. So I still think we have a little bit more time of Bitcoin calling the shots before it convinces the rest of the market to take bullish allocation into alts. So until we see that rotation, we're going to assume that this is going to trade sideways, and I think it'll trade sideways along this channel, along the top of the channel during its backup phase. And then once it breaks above $1.20, I think that will be its acceleration. So until it can form a little bit of an accumulation here around the 75 cents to $1 range, and build that cause to break us above $1.20, I think we're going to remain somewhere in this area. This is kind of your last chance for accumulation for the Cardano bulls out there. And yeah, we're a few months away from getting that rotation, in my opinion. Same sort of thing here on Solana. Solana's in an awkward spot, if I'm being honest. Solana's in an awkward spot because it has room to the downside. It has room to the downside, but it is seemingly holding this support level right here. So somewhere, this kind of support level right here seems to be currently holding. This is the area of support in the prior cycle. This was area of resistance, support, support. And we're kind of battling with it right now. So we could just hold this area, and so the bullish case scenario for Solana would be something like this, where we get back on top and do a consolidation before continuation. But if that doesn't take shape, then we do have room to the downside somewhere around $80. A lot of negative FUD on Solana right now because of a commercial that they made. That leads me to believe that we're actually at the low, because you always trade sentiment. If everybody's saying Solana's done, Solana's cooked, they made a huge mistake, they're never going to recover from this, it's probably the bottom. So, with that fundamental of sentiment added to the mix of what's going on with Solana, we probably have a floor here. So if I'm a betting man, I think I'm actually going to lean more in favor of us kind of holding this current level and getting that move up in the next couple of weeks to months. Now we'll take a look at the down and dirty XRP. Where is it? XRP BTC. Chugging away to the upside here on the BTC pair. Let's go XRP USD for specifically the XRP fans, because they are fiat slaves. So they may as well look at the fiat pair. Yeah, it's a weird one. You know, it is technically a bull flag. It's just an ugly bull flag. So XRP, I don't know, man. I don't know. This is a weird one for me, because this looks very distributional as a bull flag. So you've got a negative thing paired up with a bullish thing. So basically, it needs to kind of hold this level and break out. It's in no man's land. So we'll keep it really simple here. If we are below this channel, we're bearish. If we are above this channel, we're bullish. When we are inside of this channel, I don't really have a directional bias on this at all. I think that, you know, there's some bullish fundamental potentials coming down the pipe for XRP. But, you know, it's also a very manipulated coin with a lot of insiders that are, you know, putting a lot of supply pressure on the market always. It's a VC play with a lot of VC manipulation. And yeah, there's just a lot of supply side that comes out on XRP. So it's to be determined here. The bearish case scenario, if we do break out to the downside here, I think you would get something like this and retest kind of the dollar level, that big psychological dollar level. And then the bullish case would be us getting above, having our backup phase, and then breaking out of this bull flag and going, you know, pretty quickly to the upside. So as long as we're in here, we don't have a general direction. We don't have a general direction because it's a bullish structure. It's a bull flag. But inside the bull flag is a bearish formation. So to me, currently it's neutral. All right. We got a few coin requests. We'll do a few of them. I do have to get going today, so I don't have a ton of time. How long have we been streaming here? Oh, did we lose connection? No, we got a good connection. Okay. I've been streaming for about 24 minutes, so I'll do a couple coin requests and then we will close things out. So one of the requests that we got was for Banker, BNKR. Let's actually take a look at this one first on CoinGecko. Let's see here. Oh, this is on the base ecosystem. Anchor.bot. I always just like to get a high level. Okay, your friendly AI powered crypto companion. So it's an AI assistant. Buy, sell, swap, place limit orders, and manage your wallet effortlessly just by sending a message. Okay. So this is for people who want to trade that don't know how to trade. So you can talk to the AI to trade for you. Interesting idea. Let's take a look at the chart. Looks like a relatively new listing. Yeah, new listings. I don't like new listings, especially. So here's the thing that nobody seems to realize about new listings. When a coin gets listed on exchanges, it's like the number one goal for people who are shilling a coin, shilling a new coin. It's like, oh, we got to get this listed on Binance. We got to get this listed here. I can't wait to get it listed. Listing is not a good thing, especially if there are futures contracts or derivatives attached to that listing. And let me explain briefly why it's bad. When you are in an illiquid shitcoin that just has no market cap and you are a whale, you cannot sell. Like, you physically cannot find a buyer in order for you to sell your position. So what ends up happening is you're stuck. You're a bag holder. You're a bag holder on massive amounts of P&L. You've got huge amounts of paper profits and you can't sell. So what are you waiting for in order to sell? You are waiting for an exchange listing. And when you get the exchange listing, the first thing you do is, let's say you have 100 million coins. What you're going to do is you're going to open up a short position on the exchange worth 100 million coins. Now you have locked in the price. You hold a long of the spot position for 100 million, and you hold a short for the spot position of 100 million. Then what you do is you can slowly begin to sell your spot position, because you know that slippage doesn't matter. You know that volatility doesn't matter. You know that the entire, like, you can really wreck the market if you want. You can completely destroy the coin if you want, because you're not going to experience any more downside on the spot position because you've hedged it 100% on your short position. And this is infinitely liquid. It is so easy for you to get paid out on the futures contract. So you can just dump the shit out of the coin in the spot market, and you can wreck the price. You can really move it down because you no longer care. You've sold the top. So you can wreck the spot market, get out of the position, get your Bitcoin, get your Ether, get your Solana, whatever it is that you're trying to get. And then once you've sold that position out, you're going to close the short, which you've actually made all the money that you would have lost over here. You've made it over on the short. So I think that exchange listings are bearish. And it's a common theme. You get an exchange listing, boom, everybody gets super excited. And what does it do after that? It gets wrecked. It gets wrecked. 9 out of every 10 exchange listings, from what I've seen, are bearish events. They are selling events. So not to say that this can't do something in the future, but it needs to process all of the supply that it just got hit with. And when that supply is worked through, and you begin to develop an accumulation range and a breakout of that accumulation range into a trend, then you can get bullish on it again. But it looks like it was just listed, so I'm bearish. Aether, it's another one. Aether Collective or Aethernet? While you're answering that, I also got another request in the YouTube comments from the last show. Let's just take a look here. I believe it was Casper. Yeah, Casper. The Casper BTC chart. Ooh. Looks like it had a listing and then never really recovered. Although this is a very long-term accumulation, but it's pretty much dead. So it's going to be a laggard. Let's take a look at Casper BTC. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty shitty chart. It's a pretty shitty chart. Down only. Down only. Will it recover at some point? Potentially, but yeah, it's pretty ugly. We do have finally some bullish news on the ordinal space. Track finally got a little bit of a pop. A little bit of relief to all my track family out there. Hypermall. So Hypermall is an application layer for the Track protocol. Track is a sleeper. Ordinals are a sleeper. I know, if you've been heavy into ordinals, you've seen just how negative these highly speculative new coins can be, but you got into them for a reason. And that reason, that market sentiment that you saw, that's coming back. We're seeing the nice work, cool beans, cool story, bro. But the facts are the facts. We haven't made a new high. Once we break above 60 cents, then we can start to pay attention and see if there's a bit of a trend taking place. Once that trend is showing us that it is taking place, then you can get excited. But this is good to see. I'm a big ordinals bull. I'm a track bull, tap bull. This is the chain link of Bitcoin. If you are unfamiliar, please do your own research on all things ordinals and make your own investment decisions. But I'm very bullish on the Bitcoin ecosystem as a whole. And yes, I'm talking about a Bitcoin ecosystem. The thing that everybody said was impossible is not only possible, but live, active, and you can go and trade on it right now. And yeah, very bullish on that kind of stuff. But yeah, Aether with an I. Arrow don't. No, that's Arrow. ATH? Is that what we're looking at? Give me a ticker, bro. Come on. Give me the fucking ticker. I don't care about the name of the coin. We're looking at charts here. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that you mean ATH. Chart looks like shit. New listing on Coinbase. What happens in a new listing? If you don't know, just rewind. I just explained what happens on new listings. Coinbase doesn't offer futures though, so a little bit different. Yeah, really, I don't know, man. You know something fundamental about this one, because there's clearly nothing technical that is exciting about it. Just downtrend. Downtrend on Bitcoin. Downtrend on dollar. Exchange listings hurting it. The only saving grace is that you see something that nobody else does, and it hasn't been realized yet. Take a look at Darrow. I don't know. Maybe. JT, how do you learn trading? What's your trading story? My trading story is kind of interesting. So when I first got exposed to Bitcoin, I got exposed to it as a paycheck. So I was doing my work for a company that wanted to pay me in Bitcoin. And I was brand new to Bitcoin. And I would get paid on Friday. And I remember I was getting paid a third of a Bitcoin every 2 weeks, which is crazy to say now, but it wasn't that much back then. But yeah, I was getting paid a third of a Bitcoin every 2 weeks, and I would get paid on Friday. And it was just so innocent and so silly how I began my trading journey, because what I realized is that we were in a bull market. If I didn't sell my Bitcoin to get, my living expenses on Friday, and if I waited the weekend and waited till Monday, not only did I spend less on the weekend, but I made more money by the time Monday came around. And that kind of led me to learn about charts and uptrends and be like, okay, well, it looks like I should sell on payday because we're in a downtrend, or it looks like I shouldn't sell on payday because we're in an uptrend. And then that kind of just led me down the rabbit hole of teaching myself technical analysis. I coupled that up with some mentoring with my parents. A lot of my family is in traditional finance. I never showed an interest in traditional finance until I got exposed to Bitcoin and started reading charts and stuff. And then I kind of leaned on them a little bit more for kind of guidance and mentorship on traditional finance. Like every trader, you go through 3 different phases. You go through the phase where you lose money. So learning how to trade, you lose money in the beginning. This is your tuition. Then you learn how to stop losing money. So you win some, you lose some, and you pretty much break even. And then you get to the point at which you start to make money. That's the best part for your mental health too. By the way, the first 2 are very stressful. The last part, you're just, you've got money, you know how to take opportunities in the market. You don't care when the losers lose because you know that the winners make up for the losers. And it's kind of this more easygoing way. But, to answer your question, what's my journey? The journey was rough for many people, and it's going to be rough for you too. It takes, I always try to be honest as I can on this channel. And I sometimes say things that people don't want to hear. And one of the things that people don't want to hear is that, no joke, it takes you 5 years to learn how to stop losing money. And it takes you 7, 8, 9 years to get to the point at which you start making money. Now, I know that's probably not what you want to hear because you're coming into this market and you want to learn how to trade. But, it's like anything. If you want to go and be a plumber, you can't be a plumber in 1 or 2 years. Sorry, you're going to be a shitty plumber if you only get 1 or 2 years experience. If you're going to become a carpenter, you're going to be a shitty carpenter in 1 to 2 years. You're going to be a damn good carpenter in 8 years plus. If you want to be a lawyer, you take 8 years of school. If you want to be a doctor, you take 10 years of school. This is a job. This is a career just like anything else. It requires dedication and it requires time. Why does it require so much time? It requires so much time because the market teaches you different things at different times. It teaches you different things during the bull market. It teaches you different things during the bear market. And it teaches you different things during the sideways trading market. And there's nothing that you can do to speed up the progression of the movement of time inside of the market. You can't study harder. You can't trade more. You can't do anything to speed up the progress of the pace that the market is moving. But what you can do is you can control how much money you spend when you're learning in the first phase. If you throw a shit ton of money at the beginning, you're going to lose a shit ton of money at the beginning. If you know that the first couple of years are going to be educational and really rough educational years, you get to choose how much your tuition is. If you trade with $10,000, if you trade with $1,000, if you trade with $100,000, chances are you're going to lose every single one of those figures. So how much money do you need for you to feel it, but learn, but not ruin your accounts? It should be really small. You got to move really slowly in the beginning because I can pretty much guarantee you, you are not a special person. You are not outside of the 95% statistics of people who try to learn, and you will lose the account. I blew up 3 accounts before getting to the point of not losing money. So when you fund your first trading account, how much money do you want to lose? Do you want to lose $100? Do you want to lose $1,000? Do you want to lose $10,000? Do you want to lose $100,000? You're in control as to how much you're going to lose because your first account, you will blow up. I guarantee it. So probably not what you want to hear, but it's about understanding that this is a craft. And the craft, like any other craft on the face of the earth, any other professional on the face of the earth, you have to train, you have to study, and it takes time that is unavoidable. So that's kind of, a little bit about my story. It's a lot of trial and error. It's about identifying certain patterns in the market, knowing how to position yourself alongside of how the patterns are playing out. Like for me, I'm a bullish trader. I'm not a bearish trader. I'm not a very good trader when it comes to shorts. I'm just not. I am an exceedingly well-performed trader when we are in a bullish uptrending environment. And statistically speaking, that's not that impressive because a lot of people are good. But it's important to identify where you perform well and have good money management so that you can just chill and stay. Like when the market's not working for you, stay out of the market. People think the more you do, the more you make. No, the less you do, the more you make. The less you trade, the more you make. So identifying where you're strong, looking for those setups, taking those setups and managing risk appropriately is where you're going to do well. So it takes time. I hold USD on my OKX, and my 12 recovery phrase is wine, dairy, film, extract. So Danny Botsford, for those who don't know, if you guys haven't seen this scam already, I'll explain how this scam works. I'm going to block him right now. So you can see that comment there where the guy's giving you his seed phrase. So how this scam works is there's tether on this wallet. So you'll be on... Yeah, he's a scammer. Thought you guys only did this crap in the comments. Yeah, so yeah, exactly. So how this scam works is there's tether on this wallet. When you go and recover the seed phrase that this guy is sharing with you, you are going to see like $1,000 worth of tether. But you will see 0 Ethereum or 0 Tron or 0 whatever, okay? And that's the gas token needed to move that tether out of the wallet. So how the scam works is you are like, holy shit, look at this idiot. This idiot has a seed phrase here and he's left this tether. I'm going to steal his tether. Oh, he doesn't have any Ethereum. That's why he can't get it out. I'm going to send some Ethereum to that wallet and then I'm going to send out the tether. The thing is, this wallet has a smart contract on it. And the exact moment at which your Ethereum hits that wallet, it immediately sends an outgoing transaction to the scammer's wallet. So it's a pretty clever trick because not a lot of people know that wallets have this capability. But the exact moment that you send ETH to this address in order for you to steal the guy's tether, it's going to steal from you. It's going to instantly take that tether. It's going to instantly take that ETH. So when you see these 12-word bullshit recovery phrase things, they're scams. That's how the scam works. Thank you very much for sharing your trading journey. So honestly, loved it. I'm glad you liked it. Cool. I've always knew it was a scam, but never knew how it worked. Excellent. Yeah, it's a clever one. It's a clever one. And it's an adaptation of a different bot scam that was going around on Binance Smart Chain for a while. I actually got scammed by one of those. Not a big amount, but it's it's interesting. It's a clever one. Okay, let's block him. Get him off. And I've been rambling long enough, so let's just wrap things up again on Bitcoin and share what I think is going to happen here on Bitcoin. So we're going to go to the daily. My target is going to be 84,400. Okay, I'm getting that based off of the 7 moving average here on the daily. That's the weekly average price. So I'm looking for a pullback back to that range. So when we're on the 4-hour, that lines up quite cleanly with this support/resistance flip that we have identified already at around 84,800. So anywhere from 84,800 to 200. What did I say? I already forgot. 84,400. So 84,400 to 84,800. Get down to the 15-minute time frame. Look for those bullish divergences, because the moment you see a two-touch bullish divergence, I think that we're going to take off to the upside. So ultimately, I'm bullish on this most current price action. I think that we are going to get that correction down, and that's when a lot of people are going to be loading up, and we will continue to the upside from that point on. One last comment before we wrap it up. Game 12306, are you bullish on Bitmap? Yes, very bullish on Bitmap. I've been bullish on Bitmap since Bitmap became a thing. Many of the people who are in the private group are Bitmap holders. We were minting the things as soon as they came out. Super bullish on Bitmap, super bullish on Natcats, just overall bullish on anything DMT. So the digital matter theory is it's definitely an undervalued, understood theory out in the market right there, and I'm very bullish. So if you guys want to hang out in the Discord, you know what to do. Go to blackbox.pro, create your free Bitcoin trading bot account. All we need is an email and password, and then click the join Discord tab down here. There are Discord links down below, but if you want an easy time getting into the server, use this, because this is an auto verification link. All right, that is all the time I have for today. If you guys enjoyed this content, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Go check out blackbox.pro. We'll see you guys in the Discord. It's time to get bull market ready. I feel a shift happening. I feel things moving in our direction here. So let's get ahead of the herd and let's get prepared so that we can be selling ahead of the herd as well. And that's it. Until next time, please trade safe. It is jungle out there.